What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to WP Workshop. What I have for you today is a truly wild story. Okay, so what you're looking at is a thread on Reddit where someone is describing how their website got hacked and it started to spread gambling ads on more than 14,000 URLs, which is a bad situation you can imagine. So let me just quickly go through it and we'll see what we can all learn from this for our website's security and safety. So this is a story of how I found out that my website was hacked and used to spread gambling ads across over 14,000 URLs. So the user says that after some time with ChatGPT, useful tool, they've been able to get rid of the malware and destroy it. But the interesting part is how it all started. So it all started with a weird email from Google Search Console. And we all know that getting an email from Google Search Console isn't always good news. Sometimes it's quite bad, and in this case it was as well. So basically what this email says is that a new email was added as an owner of this user's website. And of course, the user didn't add this new email, so they were quite surprised, to say the least. Then I started thinking, how could someone just randomly add themselves as an owner? That's when I remembered how I originally verified my website by uploading a Google authentication HTML file to my hosting's root folder. So I opened my FTP and surprise, there were two authentication files instead of one. I checked which one was mine and deleted the other one. I changed all my passwords, deleted all FTP users, created new ones with strong passwords, and thought I fixed everything. A few weeks later, I logged into Search Console again just to check performance. Then I noticed a recommendation saying a page has recently received more impressions than usual, and I clicked and saw this URL. It says top 10 GOG sites, Dutch for top 10 gambling sites, useful knowledge for all of us. And that's when I knew something was seriously wrong. So I opened the sitemaps section and saw a new entry that definitely wasn't mine. Google showed 14,401 indexed pages. So the user then describes how they went to those pages individually, click on them, and they worked, meaning they were showing some gambling content. So after some back and forth with ChatGPT, the user searched for weird files in uploads, themes, plugins, and they found the first problem in a child theme, a new file called functions client PHP. So the script inside allowed anyone to upload files anywhere on the server. That wasn't good, of course, we can all imagine. The user says that they searched the database, the WP options table, using a simple SQL instruction, and they found a massive encoded entry. Okay, so this nice piece of code, what it basically does is that it first phones home, then it erases the visible content of the page, so what would commonly be in your body section on an HTML page, and then it replaces it with some awesome gambling content, I guess. So yeah, the user says that they deleted the database record, and after that they opened one of the gambling URLs and noticed that the content was still there. Basically the styling was gone, but the content was still there. So then they just searched for all posts created by some mysterious user ID and found them all and deleted them all. First off, the user was quite lucky that all the posts were created by the same new user account. They could have been created by 10 different new users or even assigned to the correct users, existing users. This is quite an interesting story because basically the person noticed that something was going on only because they were connected to the Google Search Console, meaning their website was connected to the Google Search Console. If it wasn't for that, the user might have not found out ever. I mean, not ever, but for a long time, right? So lesson number one, probably use Google Search Console because they will let you know about bad stuff going on with your site. So it's a very valuable tool and it's free, right? So that's one. And then, luckily, thanks to tools like ChatGPT, they were able to figure out what was going on, even though, you might be able to figure out even if you are not an expert experienced with security with WordPress. So ChatGPT will help you in those cases. And lastly, they were able to remove the hack. I mean, the results of the hack. Because as other people have pointed out in the comment section in here, they didn't actually remove the cause of the attack, right? They just removed the effect. So who knows, maybe tomorrow they will be facing the exact same problem. Okay, so what's going on? Or maybe not what's going on, but what we can learn, how to save our sites from, things like that, what can be done. So first off, many problems, most problems actually with WordPress security don't come from WordPress itself. WordPress is a very secure platform. It's been taken care of by hundreds, thousands of people even, right? So the problem are the plugins and the theme that you have installed on your site. And I'm not talking about, well-maintained huge plugins, right? Those are usually well taken care of. I'm talking about plugins that you might have installed years ago and then the plugin was just abandoned by the creator and no security updates have been made to it for years, basically. There are still lots of plugins like that being used by lots of sites. So the first thing to take care of to make sure that your website is secure would be to prune your plugins, meaning delete anything that you don't actually use, even delete plugins that are not active on your website. And if you are using some plugin that hasn't been updated in, 2 years, 5 years, then maybe, just maybe, look for an alternative. There are tons of plugins for everything these days available, so you should be able to find a replacement for an old plugin. So I know that it sounds like basic security advice, but just update your plugins, right? This is the simplest advice. But apart from that, you can also do some scan yourself, and you don't even need like a security plugin to help you with that. So for example, if you have WP CLI enabled on your website, then you can do a couple of things. Let me show you. So first off, you can verify the checksums of the WordPress installation, your WordPress installation. So what this will do is just make sure that your current WordPress install verifies against checksums. This means that basically no one and no other script tinkered with your core WordPress files. You can do a similar thing with your plugins, right? So with your plugin directory. So basically, if you run a command like this one, this will do the same operation for the plugins that you have installed. And you're gonna notice that I'm starting to get some warnings on my install, and that's because it's checking those checksums against WordPress.org. So for example, any custom plugin that you might be working on, like in my case, this one, it's just on GitHub. It's not connected to the repo, so there's no checksum to check, right? Same thing for some premium plugins. So some premium plugins will return a warning as well. And of course, the new Fur plugin, this also doesn't check for, other reasons. Yeah, what you can also do is look for some PHP files in places where they shouldn't be. So you can use even a command like this one. So basically find WP content uploads and just look for any PHP file. And yeah, I found 2 of them. So, okay, let me check. I'm curious what they are. So let me bring this in here. So the first one is in uploads, WP content uploads, feeds the logs. All right, and here it is. What does it do? All right, it's just PHP silence is golden. All right, cool. And the next one, WP migrate, and we have another one, and yeah, same thing. Okay, so I can let it slide, I guess. Then what you can also do, since in the case of this example right here, most of the damage was done through a PHP file, and of course that PHP file was in the child themes directory, so it's a common location for a PHP file. But if you have other malicious files in other locations, then using the method that I just showed you will help you find them. But what you can also do is create a new record in your htaccess file, and basically you can disable any PHP files from running in a specific directory. So for instance, you can set this to run in WP content uploads directory. Yeah, and when it comes to the other solutions, as always, just have good passwords. Don't use the same password everywhere. Update your software, WordPress plugins, and use a good host. Actually, there's been a comment here in the thread somewhere where someone shared that another cause can be that they are on a shared host, meaning everyone is in the same space, so to speak. I actually had this problem once with a host I won't name today, but I got Spam Forum installed on my website in quite a similar way to this. Yeah, so check out the thread if you're interested and let me know what you think about this whole case. I'm Karol, you can find me at wpwork.shop and see you next time.